of leaders in San Francisco. China said a few days ago, their state security service, the U.S. needs to show sufficient sincerity before Xi Jinping agrees to visit. How important is it for Xi Jinping to come to America in November?
Well, it is important to the order of things, if you will, the stability of things, that we keep open lines of communication.
You were in the same room with China's number 2
yes,
today.
I have actually met with President Xi as well.
Did you talk to him today?
Well, we exchanged pleasantries, yes. Yes.
But it's still a little tense.
I don't think it's as simple, if you will, as whether there's tension. Yes, there's tension when you are in a competition of any sort, but that does not mean that we are seeking conflict.
Right.
And I think it's important to not conflate the two. Do we have disagreements, for example, very serious disagreements about what's happening in the South China Sea? Yes, and we're very clear about that. So one could argue that there's tension there. But you look, for example, at trade, 99% of our trade is not influenced by what we are doing in terms of the restrictions on exports.
So you want Xi Jinping to come in November?
I think he is absolutely an important player in this region of the world, and if he comes, then that will be, I'm sure, something that could be productive.
North Korea's Kim Jong-un, as you know, is expected, according to U.S. intelligence, to go meet with Vladimir Putin in Russia in exchange for some military support potentially here. How destabilizing would that be for Asia?
I think it would be a huge mistake. I think it would be a huge mistake. First of all, when you look at Russia's unprovoked war on Ukraine and the idea that they would supply ammunition to Russia, well, it's predictable where that ends up. I also believe very strongly that for both Russia and North Korea, this will further isolate them.
Some of the most sanctioned countries in the world at this point.
But at some point, it's just a step too far.
What is that step too far? I mean, what is it that Kim Jong-un is seeking? Is it nuclear submarines, as our allies in Seoul have said they're concerned about? Is it satellites? What does that do here in Asia?
Our allies are telling us about their concern about what's happening in terms of North Korea. We are all absolutely clear and unequivocal about our goal of the complete denuclearization of North Korea. But when we think about Russia's aggression in Ukraine, many, and most, are very clear also. It's an absolute violation of one of the most important agreements that we have around the world in terms of international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And Margaret, on that matter, it is very clear that Russia has clearly, they're very desperate. They have already experienced a strategic failure. So clearly this is an act of desperation on the part of Russia. But it would be a huge mistake for Korea to do this, for North Korea to do this.